5:29.
1 minute.
I would think so. Here we go. So we will call the meeting to order at 5:30. Roll call, please.
Member Braden. Present. Member Corey. Absent. Member Gonzalez.
Here.
Member Moreno.
Here.
Member Robertson.
Here.
Member Sahota. Absent. Member Harminder Singh. Absent. Member Karan Singh.
Here.
Chairperson Tucker.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay.
Was that?
There was a grant which we did not receive, which we are resubmitting for. They have openings for those quarterly. And so we are planning on resubmitting for the next quarter. We plan on resubmitting every quarter because it's 50,000 every quarter.
Okay.
So we're in the next quarter right now. Fiscal quarter, yeah. September would be the end of the first quarter.
So when you say we're applying for it, is the City of Selma applying to it, or is the bid, or is there a specific organization?
City of Selma is applying for it on behalf of the bid because the bid is not a standalone organization. They are a subset of the City of Selma.
Do we have any idea of what project we're proposing for that particular grant?
It was proposed that the $50,000 support any revitalization of the downtown lights project. And so the 50,000 was already being allocated to that project.
And we've applied for it before, so we're just gonna resubmit what we
We're
did.
going to we've improved the application and added more detail because there's more information available now of how it's proposed to revitalize downtown. Some of the events, that type of information was lacking when we submitted for it at the beginning of the year.
Is there any way we could see it as a body, as we get closer? I know we have a couple months.
As a draft, we can work on
Yeah,
getting that to the.
That's
to the
good,
bid.
yeah. And I have seen some of the projects that they have funded, and some of them are as simple as like a stage in a road in some Texas town. I don't know how far 50,000 can go, but it can actually help us a little bit with maybe the lights or some speakers or something that, as you know, is part of our mission and part of our deliverables for the strategic plan.
It was never meant to fund the entire project. It was meant to supplement existing funding to reduce the obligation on the general fund.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do you think that type of proposal hurts or helps us when we do that? Or should we submit something that the 50,000 can fully fund? Or is that?
I didn't see any clear indication that it really mattered. I think it was really a community-based project that revitalizes a certain portion of the community.
Yeah, for sure.
And if we could please.
I'm sorry, and just for clarity, is it our grants person for the city writing it, or how does it, or you're writing it? How does it work?
It's collaborative. All of our grants are collaborative of city staff. And so the grants manager does that. She manages and organizes and gets information from the appropriate staff person that is really in line to oversee the project or has that information that supports the application and the mandates of the grant application with oversight of myself. And so at the end of the day, it's a collaborative process across multiple departments between engineering, public works, planning, as well as economic development to craft the grant application and include all the information that goes in, whether it's statistics, demographics, status of plans, estimates, what have you.
Great. If they need any help, please feel free to reach out to us as a bid, get some testimonials or whatever we need to kind of help push the narrative in order to get the grant.
Anything else? For the record, Member Sahota is now present.
Okay, if you would stand and join us in the pledge, Nick, would you lead us? Minutes, we have no minutes today. Okay. Financials.
So these are the financials for close of fiscal year 24-25. The bid had a beginning fund balance of about $61,000 and ended with almost $56,000. So that's a decline of about $5,000. That is mostly due to collections of the downtown business improvement assessment fee through the business license process. So we're still collecting those that would be applied to the 24-25 fiscal year as they're paid by business owners. Any other notes that members have, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
What you're saying.
Member Robertson, can you please use your microphone, please?
As you stated that you're still collecting, I counted 40 members have purchased right now. That paid their bid bill. How does that work? I mean, I receive the bill and I just pay it, but how long do these people have to pay the bill and who's lacking? And is there any members here that are not paying, that are on the bid? I just would like to know. Just because if we're gonna be representatives of the bid, I hope we're all paying our portion, number one. And then number two, we need like a list of who's not paying. I like to see that list. And did they pay last year? Are we going on the second year they haven't paid? And why? And how many are on High Street and the main streets? I just would like a nice itemized list of who's paying and who's not and why. That's it. Thank you. Because, I mean, if we got 40 people to pay, and of course they're all different, we have $10,433. We could have a whole lot more revenue coming in if people pay their renewals. So I just really would like to see that. Thank you.
We can work with finance to provide a list. The bid assessment fee is collected as part of the business license renewal. If applicants don't pay it, we have to go through code enforcement and do a public notice and notify them. The municipal code does give some leeway before they are actually found delinquent. I think it's up to 3 months before they are actually found delinquent. At the end of the day, if a business that was here at the time is no longer in business, then they're not going to pay their fee also. So we have some of those that are no longer in business that we don't collect any revenue from. And so we'll go through, we'll get a delinquent list and send that to the bid committee.
Understandable. Has there been anybody who hasn't paid in 2 years that are in business?
I'd have to check the
You have to
list.
check. Thank you.
On that note, I'd want to kind of revisit something we talked about before. Some of these banks, like the U.S. Bank, Noble Credit Union, Bank of the Sierra, very large business entities. But we have the Elm Feed store paying $700. How do we figure out an equitable balance between some of these larger corporations and the small town shops? I thought we were going to revisit that. How can we revisit that? And I know it's based on like receipts of how much they make. What can we do as a board, or what can we do as a city to ensure that it's a more equitable balance of payment?
I believe it was established at the time the bid was established through some sort of study to determine those type of things. Really, it's a double of your business license fee. So if the city went through and changed the structure for how business licenses are assessed, that would be an easy method to do it rather than going back and getting an approval through the 218 process because it's a fee. But at the end of the day, it's basically double your business license fee. So if the city council were to change the method in which they assess business license fees, that could be a way of doing it. whether it's size of overall employees rather than gross receipts, whether it's their headquarters is based in Selma. I mean, there's a variety of ways to determine whether it's a large corporation or a locally owned business. Member Sahota, can you use your microphone, please?
This is a good. Jose, that was a good question. I need to know too. That 700 versus $100, how does that difference?
I mean, I look at it too is that I just paid business licenses for our other businesses in our other cities. The most I paid was 270. So that's a substantial difference. But the thing is, they don't go based off of sales or anything like that. Everyone has that $200 fee.
Yeah, like your store shows us $700. Yeah.
And that's kind of almost my point was is a more equitable way to figure out how businesses are putting into the bid out of fairness for some of these larger banks that do a lot of business in our downtown community and you do provide a resource to our community. I feel like seeing what that process is to not only see to pay a fair amount, but making sure that they're all paying because I don't see Bank of America on that list. I don't see Bank of the Sierra. I don't see ECU paying at all. So and that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, even some of these doctors' offices and drugstores are paying like $50. I want to know too. Yeah.
It's just we look at it too is that some of these businesses are significantly more profitable versus like a retail outlet, right? Is that like, okay, yes, if I do a certain amount, our overhead is through the roof, right? Versus like if you go into like a business like how he just mentioned the drugstore. Drugs have almost a 300% markup versus we operate in 15% markups. So that's why it's just a bit more. I think it should be like a certain range within a $100 range. Like if it's like 220 to 290, something like that. That's more reasonable than having a 50 and a $700. That's just a too big of a margin to have because they don't ask about how much margins you make on your business either.
Yeah. I think there should be a range of how much money you make to how much you pay, or something sort of. A lot of cities do that. I don't know, how does the city figure out all these?
Well, isn't it based, your
It's based off
business
gross
license is
receipts.
based on your
Gross,
sales,
yeah, sales.
and that is doubled for the bid. So the problem is, I think perhaps not everyone is forthcoming about what they really make. So they're going to pay less.
Like US Bank, how can they have that many employees? And well, hopefully you will figure it out next time. Let us know.
I mean, the business license fees are based off gross receipts. That's what they're based off of. And then they're capped. I think the highest fee you can pay is $700. And so it's not necessarily a sliding scale once you reach a certain level. That's a discussion for city council to determine what they feel is an appropriate amount for people to pay on business licenses. The other thing is the revenue does help fund city activities. And so the question is where is the middle ground in terms of collecting that revenue? Additionally, I do agree, auditing gross receipts, businesses tell us what their gross receipts are. How do we audit them?
Okay, anything else on financials? Do you have a motion to approve? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. This is a time to address the commission on any issue appearing on this agenda. Time may be regulated to 5 minutes.
Devin Mill Street. Great topics, board. As usual, you bring up some great ones. I think that the fee is an important part. I think, you know, the bid's just getting going. It's now in its second year of existence, so I think that's definitely something that needs to be looked at. And maybe you guys could bring up an agenda item to ask staff to research that with other cities. You know, Kingsburg has a bid, Clovis has a bid, Fresno has multiple bids. So maybe we could see, you know, see what they're doing, and then you could pass the rec on to the city council to change that, because it just doesn't seem equitable. And that's another great suggestion. Who's not paying? You know, not to ostracize, but just to know how much revenue is being lost, because if they would have paid, how much the rest had to make up. So I think that's it's not fair, especially for the big banks, not to pay and just to ignore the city and ignore the bid. Finally, on the grants, the last council meeting, we had someone who submitted their proposal as a grant writer, professional grant writer, all sorts of background, local experience. And the city council will be taking a vote. I think they're going to get a couple more bids, and we'll be voting on an actual area location grant writer for our city. So maybe you could again bring that up after the city council designates someone, you know, boots on the ground, kind of local all the time, to make sure that that T-Mobile grant gets looked at and put that on their plate. Thank you.
Hey, regular business. This is a notice to the public. Members of the audiences may speak on any item not appearing on the agenda, but the commission may regulate the time allowed to speak to 5 minutes. No? Wow. Okay.
Well, Chairperson, I mean, it's still public comment. I think the regular business note is for the items on the agenda, that they have 5 minutes to respond when you approach those items. So if there's still public comment, I would welcome the member of the public to go to the podium for public comment. If she wants to comment on your business items, that's fine too.
Okay.
Stella Ramirez, Selma, California. I just wanted to say that over at Salazar Center, it's the water park. The children there, I just wanted to say they're having a really good time. I've been by there, and there's even like cars from, I believe they probably come from, you know, other areas, and they go out there, and their children are having a blast. So I just want to say thank you, you know, to Public Works or whoever got this going, because I know that it's been shut down for a while because of COVID and everything, and it's back up running, and the children are really enjoying it. And hopefully in the future, we can see more water parks throughout areas, other areas in Selma, maybe perhaps other parks. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no one else, we will move on to our event calendar discussion for fiscal year 5 and 26.
So this item's on your agenda. It's the new fiscal year. I know that there's so many events that you can do within your budget. We just want to make sure that those are calendared and planned for accordingly, to ensure that we have appropriate funds. And if we don't, we secure sponsorships for those items as they come along. So we have this on the agenda so that we can map out all of our events in a, you know, a cohesive, comprehensive fashion to ensure that the funds available, there's appropriate budget for each event, and that whether it's a collaboration or not, we understand what other partners we need to secure to fund those types of events.
This is discussion only, right? So we could all talk about it and then finalize at the next meeting?
Yes.
All right, cool.
So one of the things we kind of tossed around was doing a joint venture with the chamber for Halloween. We're going to have that in the park where cars could just basically back up to the park and kids could go around and trick or treat out of the cars' trunks. We've also looked at doing a photo booth and a costume contest and some food items that would be geared more towards the kids. So does that seem like something that you all would like to participate in?
And I'm just trying to visualize it as well. So the cars, well, we have Mill Street and Selma Street. Was it across the street from the library, and is that Selma Street? Will those be blocked as well? I'm just trying to visual, or are the cars gonna be on the park, on the grass? So the cars will not be on the grass, so we would have those two streets and the other one, that's not on? Or I'm trying to visualize where the cars will be parked exactly.
The car's gonna be back up into like in the back, in the trunk, it's in toward like where the park is. So they were gonna be giving out the candies on the sidewalks, not in the middle of the street. Will be open.
Right, okay. Oh, got it,
You
okay.
got it?
You're gonna be open to traffic?
Yeah, I mean, this car is gonna back into there, all the foot traffics, kids and everyone's gonna be on the sidewalks or inside the park.
I think,
Unless the city wanted to close it and.
I think for safety, we maybe should
They have
block
to block.
Selma and Mill
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah. Just because, kids, when they have candy, they're
They
all
will
over the
run
place and running, they
Right.
don't pay attention, and it just, the safer the better. Also, will we be like having sections, the apple dunking, those kind of contest games for the kids where they're, maybe add that as well. I'm just trying to picture that,
Some churches will come out there, they will put their booths.
or the food, would the food chart, would that be like the ones we normally get, juicy tacos, or like who would be?
Food's not gonna be there.
No food, okay,
No
okay,
food.
just,
Like kettle corn, snow cones,
okay,
and I think someone's doing hamburgers and hot dogs. Again, more geared towards the kids.
kids. And what time would that be, on Halloween day? Is that
Couple of
correct?
6 to 8 or something like that.
Probably somewhere, couple of hours, maybe.
And hopefully the city of Selma, I heard they have a popcorns machine, or if they could bring it out there. Give us
Maybe.
popcorns.
How about the school district? When are they gonna start collaborating in with, with us as well? Like just bringing a lot of the parents and, I mean, you have that ability to get them in. So for example, here's my example, what I'm just
Yeah.
probably trying to go with is, so if we do have this collaborate and do this together, will you be able to also give flyers to the Unified School District? How would we include them, the families as well with their children, so they know we're gonna have something nice and safe here and we're all gonna be part of it, and they can start planning now, hey, we're gonna go there first, so we could have it
Member
be.
Robertson, we talked to, the superintendent and his staff, and we've used their email system to reach out to students. So we can reach out to Yvette Alves at the school district and work with Ed Gomes, superintendent, on those type of items. Because it is important for, us to partner with the school district. I think we did a similar thing with the tactical urbanism grant that the city has with the high school students, to let them know what was going on over off of Thompson Avenue in front of the high school, right? Be aware, we're gonna be out there painting, in front of the school. If anybody wants to participate, they're more than welcome to come out and, make an improvement to your pedestrian walkway in front of your school. And that's actually how we got a lot of the students to participate. So we collaborate with the school district on communication and outreach on a regular basis.
Maybe, like, you also mention it, that like when we get closer to that, you're a school board member, or maybe like one of the members comes and does it during oral communication at one of the school events as well. Yeah, I'm just, just trying to I know
Yeah,
you're real busy, but if you throw it on, that'd be
Like
great.
Jerome said, it's superintendents, they are always ahead of it, you know.
Good.
so.
And just keep in mind, I think for the purpose of this item, maybe not logistics, but maybe just getting a list of events, and we can work on logistics later. Just getting an idea of what events does the bid envision wanting to do, and we can compile the list, put them on a calendar for more of an action item at a future meeting, so that we can identify again, how often are we having events? Are they too frequent for our budget? Do we need to reallocate money or just secure appropriate sponsorship? So
What was, sorry, what was our budget for
I
event?
believe it was 25,000. I'd have to double check.
Jerome, you have a calendar that you could share with us, what events left this year? What have all done?
Well, we're starting.
The Friday?
Yeah, we're starting right now the calendar of
We're
events.
talking-
Okay. Well, how many?
It sounds like the October thing is what we're talking about, discussing really quick. I want to wrap it up and say, the chamber did email me about it, and I kind of voiced the opinion to, when we're talking about improving downtown businesses and bringing people out, I really wanted to see if we could do it on High Street. That way we could block the street, and then your business could have your vehicle in the front, right in front of your building as well. And it's a convenience to our business owners to be able to just park their car in the front and give out candies that way. Also generating some foot traffic. And I have spoken to some business owners, not specifically about Halloween, but the blocking off the street and having these events. They do say it does increase foot traffic and it brings people in. And it sounds like this is on a Wednesday, on a night that would normally be slow for some of the restaurants. So that's why I proposed like maybe doing it downtown. But it sounds like you guys are set on doing it at the park. So my question is, what is the bid's involvement in this event specifically?
I believe there is trick or treating in downtown on Halloween though.
It's in the
Yeah.
morning. They do that in the morning, 10-ish, 11-ish.
Yeah, we did.
And it's not on Halloween. This event is on the 29th.
Jose at a chamber, we did discuss about it, safety. And Laura members are, it's kids' safety it's in the downtown area running around and cars and this and that. It's gonna be a not good idea. The park is we think is safe and kids could get their, face painted and all that stuff. It would be a lot easier. And if it doesn't work out, we could do next year
Sure.
at the
I
downtown.
think it ties back into the businesses. Like, how do the businesses benefit from having this event in the park?
Well, they can come out and participate. They can, there's a lot of ways to decorate the trunk of your car. I mean, they can have the name of their business on that. It's just if they want to participate. And, I don't know that it's going to be a big selling item for their business, but again, they can have something with their name on it to where it can be seen, or they could set up a booth if they wanted to.
Yeah, like Walmart's, they bring their employees 4 or 5 cars, and Kern's gonna have, bringing a pumpkin patch and that kind of stuff. So all businesses gonna come out there. We feel it's more safe at the park. Kids gonna enjoy it. That's what we're thinking on it.
But at the same time, we have to figure out how we're going to sell it to our downtown businesses. That's our role as the bid. Hey, we're doing this event. Hey, would you want to participate? Hey, this is what's in it for you. So that's the discussion item right now. Is
Okay.
how can we tell business? And you're saying, hey, you can decorate a car and put your logo on it and give out candies. Is that what we're selling them?
I think a really good idea would be to have a flyer that we can send out to all of do we have emails for all of our bid businesses?
I believe we do.
Okay. And, they can call the chamber, they can call me and get more information and see what their participation is. If they don't want to participate, that's okay too. But it's just something that the chamber is going to do. And we thought maybe bid might like to get involved in.
We could make it one flyer joint together and share with the businesses and well as anywhere else.
I think also, paying $1,800 a month for our social media, we should probably have them do a short, quick video if you want
I
to be
agree.
involved.
Agree.
We're gonna, if we do go down that route, bid/chamber together, this is where you reach out, and we have a lot of social media as well that we need to implement with flyers and just the basics of the basics, but we do need that social media hit, because that's where we're going to get a lot of our input as well, and people to participate and the families to come as well. So we would definitely like to implement that. But regardless, I think we start with the park or High Street or wherever, we absolutely need to block those streets. There's absolutely no way, if we're going to have it at the park or on High Street, that main street has to be blocked of a trick or treat, you know, and then maybe the parking lot can be the kid zone. On other things, we want to put more trucks, vehicles there. But I think they're both great ideas, and I would be for, wanting to collaborate as together and see how that works.
Yeah, no, I think
Is-
as far as the bid, if we could participate out there for maybe lining up the kids or something, that would be nice with the chamber.
Is there anything we can do for the businesses as an incentive to participate? Let's say your business goes out there and you get your trunk, you make it look nice. Is there a contest we can give to the business owners where the best decorated trunk gets some kind of gift card, some kind of food for their staff? Is there something that we can use to incentivize businesses to participate? And for bragging rights too, it could be a trophy, it could be a lunch. It's just something to get the businesses to be a part of the fun. You know what I mean?
To understand though, is it just businesses parking their cars or is it like just people from the community?
Churches or anybody could come out there.
You're betting.
Just a little bit like this, like it's more of a how much you invest into the community, right? Like how Rose was saying that if you put this video on social media, you saw all the local businesses in the area, especially the downtown like High Street, they all came out and supported their kids of the community. That looks good because people in Fresno and other cities, they'll start looking at it like, hey, like these guys, these downtown businesses are doing something to give back to their community. So that it's an optics thing too, right? So I get what you're saying as far as incentive for the business, but to get back to kids, you shouldn't need an incentive, is what my opinion is on this. If you want to give out candy to kids, you should just do it for the kids. Sometimes it's not really about more, oh, what's in it for us kind of thing.
I think we'll have a good amount of participation from the businesses. I really do.
Yeah, I think like Karen said, this is something giving out to the community and kids putting together. So if businesses want to participate, bring some candies and whatever, you know, and to bid or to the chamber and giving out the money or whatever they wanted. I think this is great. This is the event we want to try this year, see how it works. Well, we wouldn't try it with the chamber last couple of years. It was very successful. And we did it last year at Legends, and it was great. There's a fire department came over, they brought their trucks, and PD came there, giving out the candies to the kids and kids taking pictures, so it's a great idea. Something putting the community together.
So we can just want to go or, not whatever, but you don't have to decide that right now. So
Well, to answer board member Gonzalez's question, the budget for events is $10,000. And so I think we estimated $2,000 per event, depending on how much sponsorship we got. And so if you assume $2,000 per event, that's 5 events with no sponsorships, because I think that's about the going rate we've had for most of our events.
Personally, I like to see more events, more Fridays. People love it. And we should have at least 8 events in a next year. That's my personal opinion. And we should have raised that budget to a little more.
So do we have an increased budget this year? Is that,
The budget is 10,000.
okay,
That was presented last month.
okay.
So we're just talking about different events. I think if maybe another one we could consider collaborating with would be Pepe Marquez, which is coming in September, the end. And like you said, it's on a Friday and that was successful. This one's going to bring a lot of people. And so maybe if we want to collaborate and get some support there with that one, September 20, the last Friday of September. Maybe that could be another one we could collaborate with as well. And it'll be Selma Live too, collaborating with the bid. I think that would be a win-win. We have some of the people involved already kind of helping on their own, but I just think that, you know, we could get another, you know, another partnership, which would be good. And for the first time, it just, you know, we do the Selma Live 1 and then this one will be Selma Live 2. And maybe if it works out well, we could look at it again for the following year. If not, then, you know, we're fine just the way we are. But it just, like you guys are saying, are just trying to partner up to make it better. Um, will be a positive. Thank you.
Mr. Keen, is it possible to be, increase the money from somewhere else to be, put it on like a $20,000 for the event instead of 10,000?
I mean, out of your own budget?
Is it possible to reallocate?
To look at our own budget, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's a
can
good
look
idea.
at your expenditures. I mean, the issue is any change would have to be approved by the city council as well. So I think moving the money around, you have $10,830 in contingency
Uh-huh.
for unforeseen items. You have 85,000 for downtown beautification and improvements, which we're gonna get to in our second item. You have market and promotional for social media. And then you have downtown storefront improvement grant, which is 100,000 from the city council. And so I would advise that probably 100,000 from the city council is probably not going to be reallocated for that because that's a specific purpose unless they change that funding amount. That amount was specifically detailed in the adopted budget of the city as storefront improvement grant. However, if you guys propose that change, it would have to go to city council as well. So those are basically the items you could shift money between, but any amendment would still need to go to city council to reallocate that money.
Thank you.
So I'm go ahead.
I think that with the $10,000 budget, if we want to do the Friday nights again next year, we should make sure that those are covered. And then we had spoken about doing like kind of like a wine and art night walk through downtown. Something like that. I think we should I would really like to see that happen. And then when it comes to other events like the chamber and the one you spoke about, we could see how we could collaborate in a more minor role.
The thing that staff can do is we can kind of take some of these preliminary events and maybe put some of the other community events on a map or on a map, on a calendar. So you guys can see what else is planned, because I know we have like band festival, we have raisin festival, we have other events planned throughout the year. And so making sure that we're spaced accordingly, that we're not, you know, overlapping or double booking part of town, I think is important to understand when those items are also coming up. Because again, this is a budget for the entire year. We're not just talking about October. And I think it's a good point by Member Gonzalez. I mean, some of the events start in the summer. They start in May when it starts to get a little bit warmer, maybe as early as April, where you guys started doing food trucks on Friday evening. So I think that's a good point, that making sure we understand what events happen this year. Do those organizations plan on doing those events again next year? And then which events are bid sponsored events specifically, right? And so we can put those on a calendar. If members want to send me some of the events that they participated in and make sure I don't miss any, I'll put them on a calendar for the next agenda.
So with that, I'm going to make the recommendation that we continue the 4 Food Truck Fridays at the beginning of next year, close to the same exact dates we did. I think the dates are fine. I propose we continue doing the 4. I propose we do a small business Saturday, which is the Saturday after Black Friday. And I also propose we do a Christmas event, whatever that may look like. But those events revolve around supporting the small businesses in our community.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Purpose.
There are comment?
Great stuff. This is definitely getting a lot of thoughts out there. We have 2, 3, 4 chamber, 5 chamber members here, right here, maybe 6. And so I think the overlap shouldn't be a huge issue with the chamber events that the chamber has. I think it just takes some little discussion among the board members. So I think that could be avoided there. But you know, the September 26th event, that is going to be a great event. Selma Live too. And I think Saturday we've had a local boy made good, Jordan Fuentes, who won by a KO. He's 5-0 now. Maybe we could see about bringing him to that show.
Meet and greet.
Meet and greet. Selma, here we go. You know, maybe get him introduced to Pepe Marquez, and just, you know, focusing on our strengths this year, because I think we could really do that. You know, like I mentioned about the grant writer coming to Selma after the proposals come in. We also, the city is looking for and has cast and has had interviews for a public information officer, communications director. That is going to be a game changer for our city. So, you know, Advine, I'm sure they're doing a great job. They're not here tonight, but we're going to have people here in Selma on staff. We're going to be looking at our city and promoting our city. As far as I'm concerned, the bid and the city are, you know, two sides of the same coin. We are together on this. So, you know, talking about funding, we can work that out. But these are just great ideas we're hearing tonight. And you guys knocked it out of the park last year, and you can even do better this year. And we're collaborating more than ever with the chamber, more than ever with the school district. So, I mean, just, you know, let your imagination go, because the sky's the limit. And everything you've done so far has turned to gold. So just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Did someone make you?
I'm sure you guys know me, but Santiago Segura, City Council District 4. I just wanted to make a comment. We have a beautiful park. Why can't we use the park and park the cars inside the park? I mean, why are we so afraid of parking the cars? I don't get it.
We did it for 50 years.
I mean, what is the issue? Deputy City Manager? I mean, I understand that you have to get a permit from the chief to be able to park, which I don't understand why, you know? It's you guys' park. Citizens, why can't we park the cars in there? I mean, somebody told me there's some kind of ordinance against it, but you know what? Council has the power to change any ordinances. And if it's beneficial to the citizens and to the bid, to Selma Live, to anybody who wants to do an event and they want to do it there, by God, let's use it. I mean, other cities do. When I lived in Reedley for like 10 years, I did a car show at Camacho Park. By the end of the last car show, we had the lowrider car of the year and we had the lowrider truck of the year. These were big name items. We used to bring people like LA Dream Team and some of these people that were charging a lot of money. And it was only like 10 of us in the car club, and we did it. You know, the only thing that we gave was like $500 for Budweiser. That was all the support we got. But we did it. We can do it, guys. You know, let's use that park, such a beautiful park. And it just, you go by there, it looks nice, but for what? You know, nobody does anything. And a lot of the citizens ask me, how come we didn't use the park? I said, well, I don't know. You know, I'm new to this, but you know, we can do whatever we can to make it happen. And I know from what I know now, you have to get a permit, but I mean, I don't see why the chief would be against doing something for the kids.
Okay, so we were told we could not put cars in the park because of the sprinkler.
Oh my God. I should get somebody to come and fix them after. I'll go out there, get on my knees and fix the darn thing.
But the sprinklers have been around for how long?
Well, it's not just the sprinklers. Overuse of the park leads to other issues, right? Having to replant it and then you can't use it at all. And so part of the issue with Public Works over time has been to limit use of the park so it stays nice. It's a great looking park. It's a nice resource for the city. Using off streets for parking, blocking them off serves the same purpose. At the end of the day, the park, in terms of maintenance, would just be another issue for taxpayers to pay into, and it would just increase our parks budget. If the city council decides that they want to change the ordinance, staff would, you know, work with the city council to identify frequency and other items to ensure that the facility still maintains that appropriate and, you know, nice aesthetic for the park. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not just sprinklers, it's people walking, it's heavy equipment, it's a lot of other things that go in the park that still needs to be maintained over time. If we're gonna reseat it, then nobody can be in the park after the event for I don't know how long, right? And so it limits the use of the public of the park when you have events out there at a frequency that doesn't allow it to be sustainable.
Well, part of it I agree, but I mean, I've been to events all my life when cities do car shows and all that, and 1,000 cars, and there's not an issue. I mean, we're making a big issue out of nothing, you know.
And I just think it's not like we're gonna go have vehicles parked there for an event every month. I think we could limit it to maybe 2 a year. You know, it's not gonna do damage. And I could even go out there and, spray the sprinkler area, do not get near this. But
They have
it,
cones. They have cones. you
it,
can
it,
put on
there's
top.
all kinds of ways of looking at that, but I could guarantee you 2 events that are, the main events that whatever ones are chosen, 2 or 3 throughout the year, that they're not gonna affect it at all. I mean, it's if you have it,
Let me ask you this, Char. How do you do it when you put all that heavy equipment from the racing festival? Are they on air or what?
Are
Are they
they-
floating? How do they do it?
exactly, it's the
I don't
truth.
think so.
Those are heavy. I mean, those,
Grateful that we can still put those rides in the park.
exactly. But has there been problems and
We did
it,
a car show there too, so those are the.
right, it's not that, the argument, it's not arguing to argue. It's proof of what we've been doing for 50 years and some. It's just all of a sudden, they've come with all this information why we can't use our parks that we pay taxes for. So hopefully, something will be worked out with,
Just so you know, for the Pepe Marquez show, there's already like 25, 30 cars coming. And by God,
Possibly
we're gonna
more.
park them in the park. Even if I had to go out there and direct traffic, whatever I gotta do, gonna make it happen. I mean, we gotta stop being afraid of using our parks. What are we gonna do? Go do them in Kingburg next time?
So aren't people going to be confused when they were told they couldn't put cars in the park, and then they see cars in the park?
Well, I'm confused because they let the chamber put big stuff in there. I'm confused.
Because they let us do what?
They let you guys put all the heavy equipment in there. That confused me.
Well,
You know what I mean? No,
We-
my thing is, let's make it good for everybody, not just you, not just us, for other events. I mean, we can do 5, 6 events a year. That's not gonna kill the grass. We'll go out there with little, bags of seed, like the old school did. We're a growing city. If you don't want us there, we'll go to Pioneer. And if they don't want us in Selma, we'll move to Kingburg. We'll go
no,
out
no,
and-
we're not.
we'll
We're
go
gonna
out and-
bring our Rockwall Pond back, which they're looking at to bring back anyways as well. But at the end of the day, we need to accommodate some of the events and then again, use our $1,800 social media and let them know, hey, there's been a change within the council, within the bid, collaborating together so we could bring back some of our events that we used to have for over 50 years plus, and there was never a problem. I will say that the fair with all those heavy equipment and rides used to be at the other park. Maybe we need to start considering the other park to have the Raisin Festival over there with that very heavy equipment. So maybe we could now have 4 to 5 car events at the Lincoln Park. But it's a way of thinking outside the box and what we used to have for over 100, 200 years here. If we want to go back that route and see what we used to put here. So that is the history of it. We used our parks and guess what? They look amazing still.
And it's not that you can, you just gotta get a special permit from the chief. From what I was told.
It's a special event permit. I mean, all the parking and use of the park goes through the special event permit process. The legacy events like the Raisin Festival still goes through the process. They're just exempt from their fees, right? And so we go through a process of evaluating our facilities for what events occur at those facilities.
Thank you. I want to get back to the agenda item. So, Nick, you made the suggestion of 8 events. Right now I roughly have 7. So I'm going to revisit my recommendation is the Ford food truck events, a small business Saturday event in November, a Christmas event in December, and the the art walk event. And that could be sometime in September. That's 7 events.
7.
And I'm making the recommendation that they all revolve around some kind of downtown space. So the businesses can be open and can collaborate.
How much was cost last events, Fridays? Is it around $2,500 or is it with the live band?
The band is our biggest cost at around $2,000, but there were generous sponsors throughout the event that helped pay for the sponsors, and thank you for getting the sponsorships. That can really offset some of those costs. I don't know about the logistical costs. I guess Jerome could kind of check in on that. The lights, the blocking of the streets, public works time. I don't have those calculations, but I know that the band's roughly 2,000 to 2,500, just depending on the band.
Is it possible if these events are getting popular or people liking it, we start charging a little bit to the vendors?
So yes, that's a great point. Most events that are pop-ups or vendor events usually charge some kind of fee. The city is charging a 36 one-day business fee, so there is a fee affiliated with that. But other events do charge, a vendor fee. And my suggestion is the vendor fees work to help prevent vendors from committing to the day. So if they say they're going to be there and I'm bringing tacos, they pay the fee and they're more inclined to show up and actually do what they signed up for. This last one, I had a lot of vendors pull out and not show up at the event because there's a lot of things going on. There was a lot of events going on now. There was one in Reedley. There's a lot of pop-ups in Fresno. So I understand. But when I'm counting on them to be there and we promote that they're going to be there and they're not there, it kind of makes us look bad. So having a fee would kind of entice folks to, follow through. So I am in support of that.
I would say roughly $2,500 each event. So if you have 7 events, about 16,000 or so.
Well, the band, as Member Moreno said, was a $2,000 charge, right? And so if we maybe mix it up with maybe some of them don't have a full band and the band is like the grand finale of Food Truck Fridays, what have you, maybe an intermediate band somewhere along the way, like I said, and then you supplement with sponsorships. I mean, you can make the budget of 10,000 go a little bit more. You have community members that have been generous to support various downtown events. In addition, I think emphasis on downtown businesses as part of those downtown events as well. And then also rotating the location of them, you might get more participation from some of the other restaurants in downtown as well. So making sure that we reach out to our existing membership to ensure their participation in those events may cut down on the amount that we have to secure for maybe outside vendors for some of those food truck events as well.
I really feel it's important to put some of these events on the other streets where our bid businesses are because we're always on High Street. That doesn't do anything to benefit Front Street. I mean, Second Street, First Street. I get it. They can walk down those, but we're still not really putting these events. It's always on High Street.
And the 3 extra events I'm recommending is the Small Business Saturday, the Christmas event, and the Art Walk. Those would encompass other places. It's not necessarily shutting down the street and having an event, but it's, hey, go to Rodolfo's and see art here, or whatever it is. We're enticing people to take a walk around our downtown. Not everything has to be a shut down the streets, middle of the street event. We can do other events where the streets stay open and we entice people to walk around and visit these businesses, whether it's to, check them out or just listen or look at art and things like that. So I hear what you're saying, and these type of events would definitely help, promote that of like, let's walk around downtown.
And I need, for example, if you want to have one on West Front Street, maybe ask ahead of time, what event would you guys like to have here? And will you guys be participating to have the street closed and have the band, have it organized ahead of time and let them know what you're going to do first and see if they're in favor of it too, regardless of just saying, High Street is the heart of Selma, just is, regardless, and it's right towards the direction of the park, Lincoln Park, the Veterans Park, the park. But at the end of the day, I'm all for other streets to be closed down. And will people be working those events? You know, not just the same few bid members that are attending. You got to make sure you're going to have it there, make sure you show up and organize it and be there to participate and actually set up and do the whole work of it, you know. That'd be great too. We have a team effort to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, and to echo your comment, I think that should be the vision, is to expand that event wide enough to where it covers the next street over.
Right.
Like, we should get enough people to where we expand the closed front street down, and we close the whole block down. If you visit Sanger, their farmers market, for instance, it's different streets that are closed down because they've expanded so much that their community can't fill one section of the street. So that's the goal. The goal is to bring community out to where we do expand to different places, and that's just my vision.
Going back a little bit into the food trucks and all that stuff, is that obviously we will. I'm assuming we wouldn't have a DJ on like a band on the Christmas event, the Halloween event, and then the art hop, right? That's the assumption.
We haven't hashed that out. We're just kind of putting things on the calendar right now, right?
That's what I'm saying. Is that like how we were mentioning the $10,000, right? I think that would be the saving just right there alone on those 3 events. You wouldn't be paying for that, so that there's a saving right there too. And maybe if you guys want to consider it, I know the band is a great thing, but then again, it's $2,000. Maybe consider a DJ this time for one event because we're looking at $400 max per DJ. Basically, if you do 4 events, you're paying $1,600, and versus when one event you would spend $2,000. And the thing is, they've done great jobs. I mean, they've done my brunches. They do 4-hour sets for $100 an hour. So I mean, and they can play whatever you guys want, and they engage with the crowd.
Yeah, we could try it out.
Good
on
idea.
those events.
Okay, so have we pretty much got our events, our 4 Friday nights, and
Can we have that repeated again?
I have 4 Friday food truck events, art walk, small business Saturday after Black Friday, and a Christmas event.
And we're making the recommendation that these are the bid staple events, not saying we can't partner. That's the thing. Like, we could partner with Pepe Marquez and the Halloween thing, and with Parks and Recs for various things. I think just being clear on what our partnership looks like laying it out what we need to do is helpful.
I'll second that.
okay, so did you have something you wanted to say?
Stella Ramirez, Selma, California. I was thinking, okay, the Christmas parade, maybe you guys could elaborate that with an event? And that way you open up all the streets. High Street would be the Christmas parade, and then open up Second and Front and have like vendors there and then a DJ there after the parade. And that would maybe save some, money or something.
That's when we light the Christmas tree and all the kids come to visit Santa in the plaza.
But we can have all that together, have Santa there, and I mean, just make it a big old shabam thing. A big, like a big holiday. Make it bigger, just make it bigger. And it would draw more people downtown because you're not only having the Christmas parade on High Street and Santa, you're opening up Front Street, you're opening up Second Street. That way it pulls more people in, something to look forward to, not only just the parade and Santa, but just more vendors, music, just everything. And that would save because it's all just on one day. I don't know. I was sitting back then, I was thinking about that. That would be nice. And then hopefully by that time we'll have our Christmas lights and, maybe, I'm sorry, your cafe lights. Yeah, cafe lights. And what else? Slipped my mind right now. But it would be really nice. And maybe the businesses can be open too. People could go in there and yeah, I think just make it more festive, more Christmassy. I think I've been watching too many Christmas movies lately. But
No, to her point, I see the vision. I do see that. I see that vision of Hallmark movie, small town Christmas, 100%. That's what we should be aiming for. And I hear your vision of building on something that already exists, 100%. I think we can hash that out. We have a little bit of time here to see if we do want to align it with the parade. It could be vendor park sponsored by Downtown Business Improvement District. Like whatever it is, we can collaborate. But I do see the vision of collaborating. 100%.
Where will the ice rink fit?
With the
Okay.
T-Mobile
That-
grant.
We're not laughing. That
Okay.
hopefully is one
We
of our
can
goals.
maybe stay on track. I think we're ready to move on to the update of our procurement and.
That we need to take the
installation.
vote. Second.
Oh, I thought we were just.
These are just.
Just discussing.
It's
that's
just
right, that's right.
discussion.
Gonna bring it next.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Between now and our
Yeah.
next meeting, if anybody has any other events, bring them to the table. Like, let's collaborate. We can knock some of these off if we feel like we could do something better. So please take time to think about it.
So if you have events, send them to me and then I will put them either on a calendar or at a list below the calendar for consideration, right? Don't send them to the group. That would be a violation of the Brown Act because you guys are going to be voting on it later. So make sure you send them to me. I will include them.
So you're kind of wanting a list of like everything that goes on.
Not necessarily logistics. What I'm saying is event wise. If you want to send some logistical items, we can include things to consider as part of events, which would be porta potties, portable lights, barricades, staff time, those type of things that are like generic costs. To Member Sahoda's point, what I'll try and do is get maybe a summary of the last 3 events so you guys have an idea of what goes into those events. But for the most part, all I'm looking for is just the events so we can put them on a calendar and then start assigning members to secure sponsorships, do planning of who the DJ is or what have you, whatever other collaborations we need to do.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to an update of procurement and installation of our benches and trash cans.
Hey, so in front of you is a very crude estimated budget that I put together with the help of Public Works. You have the number on your sheet is the exact number of current assets located in the downtown bid. So you have 11 benches, 72 street signs, 38 trash cans located in the downtown area. What I did is I kind of broke it into 2 estimates. One with the 5-foot benches and one with the 6-foot benches. I think in talking to the public works director, I think there was a push more for the 5-foot benches with an armrest to prevent the use of those for sleeping or any sort of prolonged stay on those benches. And so I would really refer to the top estimate really as just a really preliminary number to replace the existing assets within downtown. In your adopted, so that's an $87,845 number. We budgeted 75,000. And so what we're hoping is the numbers that I provided on the cost per item by buying in bulk or through a co-op would reduce some of the purchase cost for each one of those assets. I think additionally, if we strategically locate them accordingly, I think we can maybe have some recovered costs there as well. When we were looking at some of these trash cans, the art trash cans, I think we're on the lower end. I think our former economic development manager listed those at $200 to $400. For purposes of estimating, you can see that I have the cans at $1,400 because that's, I think, more in line with what those cans cost. They probably cost closer to $800. But again, we will get better numbers and we'll send out to the board once we go through our co-op Sourcewell, as well as some of the other co-ops to see if we can get some reduction in some of those items. So in addition, we estimated about 3 hours per item to install, fasten to the ground, accordingly move the old asset out and make sure it is properly fastened accordingly to its permanent location. At a rate of about $35 an hour for the fully burdened rate of Public Works, and about 121 hours, that's about $12,000 to Public Works to install those items without having to go out to bid and pay prevailing wage to an outside contractor. So there's some savings there to have Public Works self-perform that installation of those assets. That estimate may be on the higher side with the street signs. I've been told that they can do that a little bit faster, but just again, this is a preliminary number for budgeting purposes so that we have an idea of about how much we can get done. So again, from our standpoint, we're gonna go back and try and drill down on some more of these estimates to try and get a better number within the budget of the bid. Because it would be really nice to do the whole bid area in one shot and not have to split it over multiple years.
So when will that happen?
We're gonna go and get updated numbers this week.
So you get the bid.
There would be no bid. There's no need for a bid. Our purchasing policy allows us to go through a co-op because they go through their own procurement and solicitation of bids. So that's allowed under the city's purchasing policy.
So everything goes through how you're planning on having it done. When will we consider this could be a project starting?
I'd have to work
Timeline.
it out with Public Works and come up with a work schedule and see, because obviously if they're installing these assets within the downtown area, they're not able to do other things throughout the city. And so it would be a work schedule that we would work out to get you guys an estimate of they're working on this street this week, this street the next week. So it could be a project dedicated to maybe two Public Works employees, but it would be a process like most things because there are other things that they do throughout the city.
Two quick questions. The number of benches, signs and cans, is that in the large downtown parameter or the small downtown parameter on the website map?
That is the whole bid area. That is the whole downtown bid of the entire membership.
Got it, thanks. And the second comment is if we can use the full downtown Selma logo, I would prefer that, the one that has the cityscape on it. I don't know what anybody else's thoughts are, but
We can work on what logo we can.
it's
put
not
on
gonna
the
make a
different-
cost difference, you think?
It'll be a different because it's bigger.
Yeah,
and
it'll
it's
be-
got more color, so it'll probably cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we talked about maybe using the badge on the back of the benches, just as like a little logo.
Got it.
And so we can work to do one or the other, at least mock it up to see what the board would prefer. I know for the street signs, we can probably do the full logo on the
That's right.
street signs for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think it fills the area considerably better than the small badge logo.
Sure. That's all I had. Thank you. This is great. This is great presentation. Thank you.
Those street signs gonna be bigger than what we have right now? Sizes are those?
Microphone.
Sorry, you can hear. I said those signs gonna be the same sizes right now, or is it gonna be bigger sizes on the street signs?
I can go grab the one that's still over in Public Works and bring it in so you have an idea. I mean, they're pretty big. They're at least like about this big.
Wow,
So they're pretty large.
like a City of Clovis has.
Yeah, it's over there.
I wasn't here.
I can go run and go get it real quick if you guys want to see it, and I can trot it online for people to see.
Didn't we see it before?
We did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if
wasn't here,
member
probably.
Sahota was
Big.
here, so if you want to take like a 2-minute pause, I can go grab it real quick.
I think we're okay.
Okay, Chairperson. I can grab it after the meeting and show you.
Yeah, after me.
Okay. So any more comments regarding benches and trash cans?
No, we just want to know when they're gonna installing it.
Soon,
Soon as you get the bids. in,
soon as we get them.
Right after it.
Okay, moving on to staff updates.
Public comment?
So you have 1 minute.
Timelines, Scott Robertson, 10:57. Got 50 seconds. So, the city applied for a grant. And that is going to be, and it's $3 billion grant. It's going to be on agenda tomorrow. And it's going to be covering from Second Street down to the tracks. So I'm just wondering, will some of those trash cans and benches be utilized in that space as well?
They're not currently proposed to be because that's outside the bid area. And so we can have the trash cans installed in the same area and use the same trash cans to keep the theme because it is the gateway theme. Or the gateway to downtown is the title of the grant, right? And so I don't think that there's any issue of replacing trash cans along that area at the park on Whitson and Second Street and along that gateway to downtown.
So tomorrow, when we meet with that consultant, we could bring that up, make sure that it chimes with the bid. Make sure, because it's going downtown. But you're asking about timeline. That grant, you gotta put it in by next year, 2026, July, October, what
I
is
think
it?
it's October 2026.
So there's a deadline there. So the city's already gonna be working on that or working with somebody on that. So it wouldn't be a huge leap to say that needs to be in at the same time. It would be efficient to have that in by the time the Second Street grant gets implemented. That's just my 2 cents.
Thank you. Okay,
Can you guys my third?
Okay, question, is this the final draft? Or is it just,
No,
okay, you guys are gonna hate me, but I gotta keep it honest. What is the vision here? Cause yeah, I look at this and it's not giving Selma. Like, ask yourselves, you see this? Does this represent Selma? It doesn't to me. It's giving, I don't know, Selma, Alabama, Selma, Texas, because there's other Selmas in the United States. To me, Selma's right there. Selma, raising capital of the world. I understand it's the bid, but there's gonna be confusion. Because before I started, getting involved with the city, which is about a year and a half now, I know it's not a long time, but there's different boards, there's different committees. So not everybody's gonna know like, oh, this is the bid, oh, this is Selma, oh, this is whatever. It's not flowing. It needs to flow. The art on the trash can, it's the trash cans, right? It's not flowing. It's not, what is it giving? What is it promoting? The art center, the mural on the buildings, like I don't get it. I don't understand. This is not to, bash anybody or, for the work, the work is appreciated, but it's not for Selma. I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody else agrees. Um, Downtown Selma doesn't even say California. Like I said, it could be any Selma. It needs to be revised, in my opinion. It needs to be Selma, California needs to be represented. Thank you.
I just want to make a comment on, we worked a couple of years on these trash cans and benches. We gone through the committee back and forth on, I don't know how many times. We come up with the logo, we spend a lot of times on it. So this is gonna bring a colorful to the downtown. So you might don't see the vision right now. I think it's, once is everything done with the lighting and everything, this is gonna be our benches out there are no good. Those are getting apart. Those are the wood frames or whatever. So we walked through the downtown, we figured out what we need to be replaced. This is the bid committees that came up with. We spent a lot of time on it, just to let you guys know.
and if I could add to that, I think the discussion about the art on the trash can, I mean, the city council adopted a cultural arts district theme for downtown. And so that is an extension of that theme and that identity that we're working towards as part of the direction of the downtown strategic plan, as part of the direction given by city council and is reaffirmed through the bid. So the trash cans and all of these items have gone, as Member Sahota astutely points out, have gone through a various levels of review, recommendation, and approval, right? And so the vision is there. I think the cultural arts district idea is there, and we're working to that end through piece by piece, brick by brick. It is not something, again, that happens over time. I have this conversation with a lot of people regarding the planning profession, which I have been a part of for almost 20 years. A lot of the things that I approve, I will not see, but that's part of the job. It's the vision that we cultivate, that we work towards, collaboratively without scrapping the plan. Just because the plan doesn't happen overnight doesn't mean you scrap the plan. It means you stick to the plan, you implement the plan, and you leave it there for the others to see your vision. And a lot of times, there's been projects that I've approved at other cities that I'm long gone before they're built. It happens all the time. But part of it is sticking to the plan. And this plan has gone through at least 2 years of discussions at the city council level, at the bid level, community workshop level, at the library, through charrettes with the qualified consultant for the downtown strategic plan to identify the various items that are characteristics of the cultural arts district for downtown.
Okay, so if the logo can't be changed on the trash can, can they add to it? Like, let's add, again, there I go. Let's add some grapes to it. Because that's us. That's Selma. That's what, defines us. That's what we're known for. That's our history. We can't leave that out. I think keep this logo, but at least add some grapes to it. I think that would be good because you're driving into Selma, you see the trash cans, you see downtown Selma, and you see basically grapes are our logo. That's what I would like to see. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I don't know how everyone else feels, but it's important. It is to me because that logo, it has been here since the 1800s. And again, last time I mentioned that there is a video out there on YouTube that tells you the history of Selma. Selma was built when the railroad tracks were built. That's when Selma became Selma. And then the agricultural came after, they were right around the same time. So it's important, I think, to have it, to keep it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as part of that too, I believe the downtown business improvement district is meant to have a different identity than citywide, right? The theme and the identity of downtown is meant to be promoted in a fashion that differentiates itself a little bit from the city, that people talk about downtown in a certain light compared to the city. It is part of the city, no doubt, but the identity and the culture of the cultural arts district for the downtown, and then you see it in other downtowns. I believe Clovis downtown has a different logo. Visalia downtown has a different logo that don't necessarily carry the same characteristics as the citywide logo. So that is not uncommon to have an identity for your downtown that is unique from the citywide basis.
You'll grow to love it.
The art on these trash cans, where is that going to be coming from?
I'm sorry.
The art.
The art
Yeah.
was meant, and I think the discussion was to solicit from city artists first to see if we could get some homegrown art on those trash cans, and then that would give license to maybe create new art or display existing art, whether it's a replica printed on vinyl. I don't think we wanted necessarily them to go out and paint trash cans due to durability of that and the long lasting nature of more vinyl printing of existing art. And so it was to solicit homegrown art for the city of Selma and display that art in the cultural arts district.
Will the bid get input on what art is put on the trash cans? And if so, we can come up with a prompt where the art has to.
I think an RFP for art would be appropriate for the bid to solicit. We can talk about that and present that maybe at the next meeting.
Okay. Do we have any staff updates?
No updates.
Are there any more requests for agenda items?
Can we get our shirts like, is anybody working on the shirts? Just maybe we could get our sizes right now so somebody can order them. And what did we end up going with? Blue? Let's start navy blue and then, yeah, I just think it'd be a good, does anybody want to take that on? Who wants to take that? Should we have somebody take that and actually just do it? Order them?
I can take sizes. I believe the city ordered the city council shirts. I think we could use probably the same outfit that.
Just go with the navy blue kind of like, I think we went with the color you're wearing now, right? Is that about right? Or
That's
something
fine.
like that?
It's part of the logo. I think it's pieced in there. The question is white, blue, black. I mean, if you guys all want the same, do you guys want different colors?
I think we agreed on blue,
Okay.
Yeah.
the
Okay,
dark
so
blue.
navy blue?
Yeah.
All right.
On that same note, do we need to put on the next agenda if we want to purchase like banners and tents and promotional items?
Yeah.
Because we really need to brand our events, and I know we've been saying that, but we haven't got an opportunity to do that.
That as well.
I don't, would that come out of the extra budget? Because there's no line item, marketing items, I don't think.
It would be a contingency item.
And if we could maybe get the scan on the tent somewhere where people could scan still. I'm still into the scanning so we could get more
QR
people
code?
to, yeah.
Okay.
Please.
But we do need a promotional tent, tablecloth, vinyl banners, signages, like pieces, like, plastic signage that says bathrooms this way for our events, if we're gonna continue to host these events.
Okay, anything else? If not, we are adjourned at 6:50.